أعوذ بالله الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. So we shall start our defense, and the first student will be, of course, Abdirahmaan, who will be presenting, and the topic of presentation will be about assessing the contribution of small businesses to economic growth in Puntland, a case study of the period 2020 to 2025. So as we are waiting for the other panelists, I don't know if they are around or they're still praying. So I'm not sure if they're around or they're still praying. Ala kulli hal, I have already sent them the link, so they'll join us. So Abdurrahman, you have 15 minutes for presentation. So you can just start if you're ready. Bismillah.
Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I would like to respectfully greet honorable examiner and lecturers and respectful guests present here today. I would like to express my special and heartfelt appreciation to my supervisor, Mr. Marjan Osam Ismail, for his continuous guidance and constructive feedback and academic support throughout the research process. And also, I will thank you, my university administration and all lecturers contributed my academic journey. With your permission, I will now to proceed my research assessing the contribution of small business economic growth in Puntland, case study of the period 2025. This study is about small business and how they help economic growth in Puntland. Background of the study. This study shows why this study is important, why it's helping people, and why small business were using the focus of the research. Small business play very important role in economic development of Puntland. They major source of employment opportunity, economic resources, and market activity. In digital role, in recent years, the growth of digital finance, ETC Plus, Sahel, and Wafi has significantly improved the operation. These services have made transaction faster and safer, reduce cash handling and risk, and improves access to the finance service. Post of COVID-19. After COVID-19 banishment, Puntland experienced graduated economic recovery. Business increased major activities such as Gorowe, Bosas, and Gardo. This recovery was supported by diaspora and increased local traders. In rise of youth in entrepreneurship, another important development increase in transportation, mobile money, and e-commerce online trading. In summary, the background highlights growing importance of small business in Puntland and provide foundation statement of problem. This slide explains the main important to modify the study. Puntland relies heavily on small business, job creation, economic generation, household welfare, and market expansion. However, despite the important and actual contribution of a small business to economic growth has not been clearly measured, especially during the period 2022 until 2025. Therefore, this study addresses the gap by providing updated and data-driven evidence on how small business contribute to the economic income and economic growth of Puntland. Another slide. Purpose of the study. Purpose of this study is to determine externally how which small business have contributed economic growth in Puntland. This study focuses job creation, household income, business performance, and economic growth of indicators. Research objectives. The main research objective is to examine the impact of small business on job creation. This objective looks how small and medium enterprise create employment, especially for youth. Second, to access the contribution of small business to household income. The focus on this in this point focus the income stability, life improvement, and education and poverty indications. Third, to evaluate how small business the influence of small business performance and economic growth. This indicates the revenue growth, consumer expansion, and market development. Lastly, to determine relationship between small business and economic growth, this objective examined the small and medium enterprise growth lead to offer economic development. Research question is, firstly, to what extent do small business create jobs in Puntland? Second, how do small business increase household income? Third, how does small business performance influence on economic growth? And what's the relationship between small business and economic growth? Research hypothesis. This hypothesis states that small business have significantly positive impact of job creation. Small business increase household income since 2020 under 25. Small business performance positively influencing economic growth in Puntland since 2020 until 2025. There is a strong relationship between small and medium enterprise and economic growth of Puntland. Scope of study. This study covers general and geographical scope of the selected, especially Rowe, Bosaso, and Gardo. Contact scope. This scope evaluating or assessing the contribution of small business to economic growth, especially in the examined job creation, household income, business performance, and market expansion. Time scope. This is study covered period 2020 until 2025. This period was selected because the impact of COVID-19 and post-pandemic recovery, rapid growth of digital finance. Significance of the study. This study provides current evidence for policymakers and also help policymakers to make better decisions. Also support small and medium policy formulation, and also support small and medium development policy, and also help and assist entrepreneurs to improve performance, and also help entrepreneurs to understand business challenges. Lastly, as the assist and help the financial institution in small and medium finance decisions, and also the assist financial institution to decision better loan product. Theoretical review. This theory, it explains past theories is culture theory evaluation or entrepreneurship theory. This theory emphasizes the role of entrepreneurs at drive evaluation, job creation, establish new business with limited capital, introduce an information surface, growth theory. This theory explains how economic spending increase production, high employment, and improved economic levels. Last theory is small and medium economic growth theory. This theory highlights the importance of small and medium enterprise development and transactional economy. This theory in Puntland, where large industry are limited, small business serve the main source of Puntland, reduce poverty and income inequality, strengthen the local economic and surface.
Your internet is not stable. Your internet.
Conceptual framework It's a visual and logical model that explain how.
Abdirahmaan, your internet is not stable.
Do you hear me? Do you hear me right now?
Yes, your internet is on off, on off. Ensure your internet is strong. Continue.
Okay. Conceptual framework. Conceptual framework is visual and logical model that explains how the independent variable influences the dependent variable. Independent variable of our research is a small business. Small business are main independent variable in this study. Small business are examined to the following key components. Employment creation. Employment creation create both direct and indirect employment. They absorb larger number of youth and unskilled and semi-skilled workers. Two, household income. Some small business provide regular income for owners and employees. The income is used for food and basic needs, education and health care, and others. Business performance refers to the revenue growth, profitability, customer base expansion, market expansion. Small business help expanding market by increasing the supply of goods and services to judge new customers, introduction, and innovative product. Factors that influencing small business. First, access of finance. Limited access is affordable to create inequity in financial enable business growth, investment of economic infrastructure, infrastructure such as produce electricity, they increase operational cost and reduce efficiency. Managerial skill, lack of skills in financial management, marketing, and others, negative effect business and stability growth. Technology adoption, use of digital technology such as mobile payment, online marketing, and digital bookkeeping improves efficiency and transparency and market research. This independently causes the dependency. Economic growth in Puntland, GDP increase in employment, and also increase that help the youth of and women and the support and business expansionists that cause the business and improve economic life. Research methodology. This research describes the research design, population, sampling, data collection method, and data analysis. Research design. This design is adopted the descriptive research design to allow the research to describe and analyze the current role of small business. The descriptive approach helps to identify pattern and trend. Research population is 80 business in Puntland. Study area of Growe, Osaso, and Cardo. Sampling technique, we use a random is sampling technique. This method, because we use this method, each respondent had equal chance of being selected, bias was minimized. Validity and reliability. Validity and reliability. To ensure validity, the questions were designed to match the research objectives. Instruments were reviewed before data evaluation, and also ensure the reliability. The same questionnaire used for all the responsibility data were collected constantly. We use for data collection in questionnaire for collection data collection with questionnaire because allow collection of data for managed responsibility and cost effective. Data analysis, we analyze data in statistical package for social science data verification SBSS. Ethical consideration. Participation were clearly informed about the purpose of study and their participation was voluntary. Confidential anonymity were ensured about not collecting names or identifying information. Participation were informed they could not withdraw any time without any consequence. And also all data collected were handled securely and used only for academic purpose. Limitation of study. First of all, it focused only small business in selected area which my limited generalized of finding. Second, the study light money on questionnaires and responses may be subjective. Finally, limited access of reliability secondary data affected depth analysis. Summary of finding. Finding directly addresses research objectives and research questions. Finding job creation. 72.5% of respondents agreed small business create employment opportunity. 75 reported increase the number of employment on their business. Finding of household income and livelihood. 67.5 responsible said their business provide stable source of income. 80 reported increased the household income over time. Finding business performance. 72.5 respondents reported revenue growth. Finding challenges affecting small business. Despite positive contribution, 80% responded to face limited access to the finance. 80% reported high operational cost. Recommendation. The government should create supportive business information by simplifying business registration. Financial institutions should improve access to affordable finance by offering flexible training and capacity building programs should provide improved financial management. For adoption, digital technology and mobile payment system should be promoted to improve efficiency market expansions. Special support programs should be designed for youth and women entrepreneurs to increase the participation of business sustainable. Conclusion. They contribute significantly job creation, household and income improvement, and market expansion. Despite challenges such as limited finance, high operation costs, and poor infrastructure, small business remain key drive of economic development. With proper policy support, access to the finance, capacity building small business can further enhance sustainable economic growth in Puntland. Thanks for all, and Mr. Professor.
Okay, thank you very much, Abdirahmaan, for your presentation. And of course, your research topic was about assessing the contribution of small businesses to economic growth in Puntland, a case study of the period 2020-2025. So your presentation was very clear, and you really articulated your points very clearly. Now, of course, we have a few questions for you. And the first question, of course, are you getting me?
Yes.
Yeah, so I have a few questions for you. The first question is, like, what motivated you to choose this research topic? Why did you decide to choose this research topic?
Okay, I understand. I choose this topic because small business are the backbone of Puntland economy, especially in job creation and income generation. This was limited recently and data-based research covering the period 2020 and 2025, particularly after COVID-19 and growth digital finance service.
Okay, let us look at your research problem. So, what is the problem exactly? What are you trying to solve? What is the problem, and how did your research solve the problem? What is the problem?
The problem is the study of addressed lack of updated and efficiency on the contribution of small business to economic growth in Puntland, particularly in terms of employment and household income and business performance. No other information, no other research that told that access this study.
Okay. And so how did your finding help to solve this problem?
The problem is the study of addressed lack of updated and efficiency on the contribution of small business to economic growth in Puntland, particularly in terms of employment and household income and business performance. No other information, no other research that told that access this study.
Okay. And so how did your finding
I will find it this research to solve the problems why the Puntland and why Puntland business increase and why the researchers do not write in what about business and what about the relationship between small business and economic growth of Puntland, relationships between why researchers are do not write, and also and help the people that validate and that participate this study.
Okay, then when you are talking about, let us come to your research methodology. In your research methodology, you selected the descriptive design. So what is the descriptive design and why did you decide to choose this research design?
Okay. Descriptive design. Well, this study is descriptive research design. With descriptive design helps to identify pattern and trends, and also it explains the real world conditions, and also it helps providing practical and reliable research. That's why I choose descriptive research design.
Okay, then how did you ensure validity and reliability in your research? How did you ensure that your research is valid and reliable?
Okay, this research is valid because the information we are getting the real people on the real constituency. And also this validity question is we designed to match the research objectives and also reliability that we are collected consequences that reflected the contribution of small business and economic growth in Puntland.
Did you do a pilot study? And what is a pilot study?
Repeat me?
Did you do a pilot study? Because that is one way you can ensure that your research is valid. So what is pilot? Did you do any pilot study?
No.
Okay, I think that's my question. I think there are some members from the panels. They can also ask some questions. We welcome them. Yes, please. We have some members from the panel. They can ask questions. Are there any member from the postgraduates that would like to ask questions? So if they are not there, Muhammad. So Abdirahmaan, thank you for your presentation. And
Thank you.
of course, we shall be sharing with you the result of your defense soon, inshallah. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ustad and Mr. Merchant as Professor, and also thank you, listeners.
Okay, now of course we are going to our second presenter today, who is Duran. So I think Duran, let me share your slides. You only have 15 minutes to present. So let me share your slides. Okay, now with us here, this is the research or the thesis for Duran Abdi, and the thesis title is Evaluating the Role of Motivation in Enhancing Employee Performance Within NGOs in Mogadishu, Somalia. So you can start, Duran, if you're ready. Put your camera on, yes, please. Put your camera on. Okay, you can start. Bismillah.
Okay, can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Bismillah, good evening. The supervisor, the chairperson, and the panel of the members. This research was motivated by real challenges. My research is evaluating the role of motivation and enhancing employee performance in NGOs in Mogadishu, Somalia. So my name is Duran Abdi Wehliye, and my supervisor was Professor Murchan. The next slide, please. If I start my background of the study, globally, scholars emphasize that motivated employees exhibit higher productivity, stronger organizational commitment, and greater willingness to exert the effort in pursuit of institutional goals. In Africa, a growing body of research, Al-Balouch and Defesh in 2023, highlights the importance of balancing financial and non-financial motivators to retain skilled workers and enhance performance. In Somalia, recent empirical studies in Mogadishu in 2024 and 2025, Muhammad et al. In 2025, Abdullah 2024, and Gaal Ali in 2025 all found that both financial motivators, salary, allowances, incentives, and non-financial motivators, recognition, supportive leadership, training, work environment significantly influence employee performance in NGOs, banking, and other institutions. Next. If I talk to my statement of the problem, persistent challenges such as delayed or inconsistent salary payments, limited training and professional development opportunities, inadequate performance appraisal systems, and weak leadership practices have negatively affected employee morale and productivity. Existing Somali studies primarily focus on banks, private companies, and governmental institutions, leaving a significant gap regarding NGO workforces. For mother, it remains unclear which specific motivation factors, financial or non-financial, have the greatest influence on employee performance in Mogadishu, unique, humanitarian, and development environment. Third, the absence of comprehensive specific evidence creates challenges for NGO seeking to design effective motivation strategies and HR systems. Therefore, this study aims to address this gap by evaluating the role of motivation in enhancing employee performance within NGOs operating in Mogadishu. The purpose of the study. The purpose of this study is to evaluate the role of motivation in enhancing employee performance within NGOs in Mogadishu, Somalia. The study examines both financial and non-financial motivational factors, leadership, and human resource practices, and identifies effective strategies that can improve employee performance in the NGO sector. If I talk to research objectives, they assess the influence of financial motivation on employee performance in NGOs in Mogadishu. They examine the effect of non-financial motivational factors on employee performance to analyze the role of leadership style and HR practices in shaping employee motivation within NGOs, to identify the most effective motivational strategies for improving employee performance in the Somali NGO context. Research questions. The first question was, how does financial motivation influence employee performance in NGOs in Mogadishu? The second question was, what is the effect of non-financial motivation on employee performance? How do leadership style and HR practices shape employee motivation? The last question was, which motivational strategies are most effective in enhancing employee performance within NGOs in Mogadishu? Research hypothesis. Financial motivation has a significant positive influence on employee performance in NGOs in Mogadishu. Non-financial motivational factors have a significant positive effect on employee performance in the specific context. Leadership style and human resource practices significantly shape employee motivation within NGOs in Mogadishu. The scope of the study. Geographical scope, NGOs working in Mogadishu Banatir region. This study was conducted in NGOs working in Mogadishu Banatir region, Somalia. Content of scope to determine the influences of financial motivation, non-financial motivation, leadership style, human resource practices on employee performance. Time of the scope was November 2025 up to January 2026. If I start the next slide, the significance of the study. This study fills the gap on motivation and employee performance and also contributes the knowledge of human resource. Secondly, it will also help NGO HR practitioners to use this study evidence-based motivation and managers to enhance the performance of the organization and reduce the employee turnover and increase the organization performance. It's also significant in policy support to highlight challenges and gaps of the human resources and workforce development by the policy makers. The fourth is will also help the community benefit better service delivery like education, protection, and health after improving the performance as a whole. Theoretical review. Maslow's hierarchy need theory. Human motivation is driven by the desire to satisfy a series of needs arranged in hierarchy. Psychological, safety, social belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. Author Maslow in 1954. Herzberg's two-factor theory. Motivators, key concept, motivators including achievement, recognition, responsibility, and opportunities for growth, create positive satisfaction and improved performance when they are present. Also, as Herzberg mentioned, and Senderman in 1959. Joseph Henry, expectancy theory. Motivation is determined by three key beliefs: expectancy, key beliefs instrumentally and violence, and violently. Author Joseph and Henry in 2022. If I talk to the my conceptual framework, independent variable was financial motivation, salary adequacy, timelines of payment, fairness of compensation, allowances and bonuses, other monetary incentives. Non-financial motivation, recognition and appreciation, training and career development, supportive supervision, work environment, participation in decision making. Leadership style, communication quality, supervisory support, inclusiveness, decision making, fairness, and transparency. Evident variable was employee performance, task completion, timelines, quality of work, productivity and efficiency, teamwork and cooperation, adherence to organizational standards. Leadership style, communication quality, supervisory support, inclusiveness in decision making, fairness, and transparency. Research methodology. Research design, aspect research design, descriptive design. Research population, 80 employees drawn from 5 NGOs in Mogadishu, Somalia. Sampling procedure, verbose sampling. Research instrument questionnaire. The validity and reliability is Chrome patches alpha. Data gathering survey, data analysis statistical package for social science SPSS. ethical considerations. Number one, the ethical consideration was to make informed consent, which means to agree the participants voluntarily to respond to the questionnaire. Number two, I kept the confidentiality and privacy of individual groups of team. Non-maleficence to prevent the harm or risk, or researchers prevented the occurrence of harm. Lastly, academic honesty, researcher respected scholar data and make appropriate reference. Limitation of the study that were derived from self-reports, which could have yielded inaccuracies or response biases. Secondly, the descriptive quality of the study renders cause and effect conclusion is difficult to establish. Findings might not be applicable to other groups or institutions.
So just a minute. Just a minute.
Yes.
So the presentation is going to go off. So we'll continue. We'll have a 10 minutes break. Okay. So I will send another link to your group. So after the break, you will continue from here. Okay. So the link is going to go off anytime from now. So I'm going to share another link after 10 minutes. But you can just continue. But it is going to go off. After that, I will send another link to your group. Okay.
That's
just
clear.
continue. Just continue.
Summary of the findings. Demographic profile of respondents. The findings show that NGOs